Thank you very much for this opportunity to the Federation of African Engineering Organizations. I would want to observe all protocol, and Honorable Minister, we are very happy here, and it's probably one of the first times when we have had such a huge gathering from the Federation to come and deliberate on the next, if you have the remote here. So my agenda has been made very simple. Most of my president-elect has spoken about most of the issues, but I will touch just on the introductory remarks. Human capital is very, very important for the gaps, capacity gaps that we have had in Africa. So we would like to build together as Africa. I'm so happy that Tunisia donated or gave the name Africa to the rest of Africa. And we are now back together to work as Africa to make sure that we build the necessary capacity that we deserve. Engineering and other interventions are answers and enablers to deliver our FAO Vision 2063, which is aligned to the Africa Union Agenda 2063. We would like to build the Africa we want, built by Africans together with their partners from all over the world. So we are very, very happy to say that we have an agreement with the Africa Union as FAO, and we would like to work together with the teams in Africa for all the institutions to make sure that we implement all this. One issue about food security, especially when you look at goal number 2, is most people don't talk about this. It's the anti-corruption bit of it, the ethical practice in terms of how we distribute the food, how the technology is used will ensure that no one should starve. I would also want to lend my credence to the technology that we have. As you know, Africa has the youngest population in the world. And with this youngest population in the world, we are going towards Industry 4.0 revolution, and it's only our youngsters that are able to do the coding, that are able to do the photovoltaic innovations, that are able to do the drip irrigations, that are able to do some new technologies that will kick hunger out of Africa. Maybe let me tell you a little bit about the Federation of Africa Engineering Organization. It was rebranded in 2012 in Nairobi, Kenya, and it consists of 5 regions, one of which was christened yesterday, the North African Federation of Engineering Organizations. Would like to thank Tunisia, Egypt, Morocco, and all those people present here for kicking FAEO into life. The other is the Central African Federation of Engineering Organizations, FAEO, still not very active. And then we have the Eastern African Federation of Engineering Organizations, FAEO, very active. We also have SAFAEO, Southern Africa, very, very active, and the WAFAEO in West Africa, very active. Our motto as FAO is to be the leading engineering professional body offering sustainable development solutions for the benefit of humankind in Africa and beyond. And our motto, of course, is to achieve the AU Agenda 2063 through engineering for sustainable development to create the Africa we want. Our mission is obviously to save humanity using the best practice technology, and zero hunger is one of our biggest missions. Again, the problems of Africa have been articulated by my president. 13% go hungry every day in the world, especially in Africa, and 852, almost 1 billion people are hungry every day. And you go to Africa, life expectancy is about 52 years. In the developed countries, is 70 years plus. That's not right. So again, we have low numbers of professional engineers. We have over 1.6 billion people without electricity, most of which are in Africa. So the problems are many. This is Africa at night. Can you see the darkness? We don't have enough electricity. And electricity is, there's the energy nexus, the energy, water, and electricity nexus is very, very important. It can tell you a story. Again, our IP, our intellectual property is very low. If we remodel the world's map to the intellectual property, Africa will almost disappear if you check the Africa, the right side. But if we model it with the poverty, you see our map becomes bigger. So it's something that we really want to work towards against. And our vision is to ensure that we have an integrated, prosperous, and peaceful Africa driven and managed by its own citizens and representing a dynamic force in the international arena. This is from the Agenda 2063 and the Science and Technology and Innovation Policies of the AU because of the agreement that we have. So as FAO, we are following the dream to make Africa green and make everybody prosperous once again. The Africa Engineering Week, the president has already spoken to this. It's in Zambia from the 15th to the 21st of September. You are all invited. Again, what are the drivers? The Industry 4 resolution, which is the digital future, is what we want to look at. We are also looking at globalization. We are also looking at community living and the rising of entrepreneurship, especially among young African youngsters in Africa. Again, the revolution in Africa, we are somewhere in between the digitization, the electrification. We have not achieved most of this, so we must move to leapfrog. As far as we do encourage the leapfrogging of how we move, let's ride the new wave of the engineering, science, technology, and innovation for our development. As you can see, we really need to harness the technologies, as I have said. Maybe because of the limited time, I will just go to the 2063 plan, where the African Federation of Engineers would like to inspire and encourage young people and women to consider engineering as a career of choice. We also would like to innovate the graduate outcomes, as well as agree with educators, government, industry, and review them regularly to catch up with the shifting trends. So as FAO, our basis is to ensure that we initiate and develop professional development pathways and harmonize the CPD, a recognition frameworks so that graduates meet the needs of the employers. Like the World Federation, we are also working towards achieving the goals. We were so happy, like my president has spoken already about the Secretary General saying none of those will be achieved, none of those goals will be achieved without engineering. Our recommendation is that there is a need to develop a regional centers of excellence and hubs for a strategic critical mass in the quality of education so that we have innovators and people that will make and deliver the Africa without hunger, the Africa without poverty. Again, we need to share effective knowledge, effective models, like my president and the president of the Tunisian order. They were sharing what technologies we can do as scientists and engineers to alleviate the suffering of our people. So there's need for FAO to create a strong professional engineering cadreship in Africa, where everyone in Africa is a member. We also would like this conference to come up with outputs on the technologies we need to kick hunger out of Africa. And we are also looking at smart agriculture, or agriculture 4.0, which must be developed to address food shortages, sustainable agriculture, and renewable energy. In conclusion, we need to create jobs, entrepreneurial growth, and economic growth for Africa. We also, as FAO, commits for further development of capacity building to increase the number and quality of engineers we have. And in conclusion, there is no problem that can be solved from the same level of consciousness that created it. This was Albert Einstein. So as FAO, I thank you so much that we are all willing to work with you, to work with everybody else to build the engineers that we need to deliver and kick hunger out of Africa. I thank you.
شكرا جزيلا.